Stop scrolling right now. Yes, I am speaking directly to you, the one who feels an aching tightness in your chest as you hear these words. Your eyes are fixed on this screen for a holy reason. This is not an accident. It is not a random video on your feed. Heaven has declared an emergency over your life today. I have positioned you at the very front of the line. You have spent years watching others step into their breakthrough while you bled in silence at the back of the room. You wondered if your turn would ever come. You asked yourself why your prayers seemed to bounce off the ceiling. But tonight, my sovereign authority shifts your position completely. You are the first line to receive my miracle. Give me your full attention for these next few moments, because a divine decree is being spoken over your household right now. If you turn away, you will lose the exact blessing designed to shatter your financial chains before dawn. Stay still. Do not let your human anxiety pull your eyes away from my voice right now. My beloved child, I know how exhausted your soul feels. You put on a brave face for the world every single morning. You smile when people ask how you are doing. But inside, you are carrying a weight that threatens to crush your breath. And every night when the house goes quiet, the heaviness settles over your mind before you even close your eyes. I see the heavy burdens you keep hidden from everyone else. I know the exact number of tears you wiped away in the dark. The world told you that you were forgotten. The enemy tried to convince you that my silence meant abandonment. He whispered that your story would end in shame and debt. But the enemy is a liar from the beginning. My silence was never a denial of your destiny. It was a secret preparation inside the furnace of refinement. You have been waiting for 90 days in deep confusion. 90 days of door after door closing directly in your face. You felt like you were standing in a dark hallway with no exit, but I allowed those doors to lock tight so I could protect you from betrayal. I was isolating you from people who only wanted to leech off your royal energy. Now the season of waiting is officially over. The court of heaven has opened your file tonight. I am stepping into your living room to rewrite your spiritual position right now. You are my chosen vanguard. You are the royal heir in exile who is finally being called back to take possession of the throne. Raise your head and listen to my words. Within the next 72 hours, a massive financial shift will unfold in your lineage. Something that has been quietly forming behind the veil is about to break into your physical reality. Resources that were stolen from your ancestors will be redirected back to your hands. Doors that were welded shut will swing open on their own hinges. There is a secret reason why I placed you at the very front of the line tonight. You were not chosen because you were stronger or luckier than those around you. You were chosen because your heart remained faithful, even when your bank account was empty. You kept praying even when your voice was shaking with tears. That quiet endurance caught the full attention of heaven. Do you know there are attacks against your life that make no sound at all? They do not shake the earth or shatter windows. They simply erode your peace little by little until you feel completely hollow inside. The enemy wanted you to give up right before your appointed hour. He wanted you to walk away from the altar when you were just inches away from your harvest. I broke my silence tonight because I love you too much to watch you bleed in secret. I am pulling you out of the shadows. I am placing my royal ring back on your finger right now. Stop calling your numbness peace. Stop convincing yourself that carrying this bruised heart is your permanent fate. You were born to reign as a ruler, not to survive as a victim. Look past the temporary emptiness of your hands tonight. Focus on the eternal weight of the decree I am releasing over your head. The border between your familiar lack and your royal destiny is collapsing. If your spirit recognizes my voice tonight, do not turn away. Stay in my presence for these next few moments, for obedience is the first step to receiving your miracle. Listen with your whole heart to what I am about to speak. This is not just another message on a digital screen. It is a lifeline sent straight from my sanctuary to your home. Every word I utter tonight carries the authority to break generational curses off your children. You are standing on holy ground in this exact second. Prepare your spirit for what is about to be revealed. The hidden mechanism behind your 90-day delay will be uncovered in the next moment. You will finally understand why heaven permitted the storm to rage around your house. Lean in close and let my words fill your lungs like clean air. Your miracle is no longer waiting in the distance. It is arriving right now. Let us step into the quiet chamber of your reality right now. I want to talk to you about the secret hours when the world is fast asleep. I was there in the dark room when everyone else had closed their eyes. I saw you lying awake at 2:47 in the morning. You were staring helplessly at the ceiling while your chest felt tightly squeezed by invisible hands. You took a quiet breath so no one in the house would hear your soul trembling. You picked up your phone with cold fingers. You unlocked the screen just to check your bank account for the third time that night. You stared at those numbers with a heavy numbness in your heart. You wondered how you were going to cover the bills that are due next week. And as you put the phone back down on the nightstand, a single tear rolled into your hair while you wiped it away quickly because you felt ashamed for being afraid. I watched you retreat into the bathroom last Tuesday night. You turned on the shower faucet so the sound of running water would drown out your quiet weeping. You sat on the edge of the cold tub with your face buried in a dry towel. You let the hot tears burn your cheeks while you swallowed every scream that wanted to escape your throat. You washed your face with cold water and forced yourself to look in the mirror before walking back out. You have worn a heavy mask of self-sufficiency for so long. You tell your family that everything is under control. You tell your coworkers that you are doing fantastic every day. But inside your living temple, the foundation is crumbling down bit by bit. You carry the responsibilities of 10 people on your lone shoulders. Everyone comes to you for strength, but no one ever asks if you need a place to rest your head. You have become an expert at pretending. You dress up nicely, and you walk with your head held high through the busy streets. But beneath that polished appearance lies a soul that is completely worn out from carrying the world. You are exhausted from being the strong one for every single person around you. You are tired of carrying heavy burdens that were never meant for your spirit to bear alone. I see the deep fatigue that sits inside your bones tonight. You feel profoundly lonely even when you are sitting in a room full of people. You listen to their shallow conversations and you realize that no one truly knows your story. You feel like a stranger standing in your own life. You wonder if anyone would notice if you simply vanished into the background tomorrow. But I need you to understand something vital tonight. You were never invisible to my sovereign eyes. I counted every single tear that dropped onto your pillow when no one was looking. I recorded every silent sigh that you swallowed so your children would not worry about tomorrow. You sacrificed your own comfort to keep peace in your household. You gave away your last resource to help a friend while your own cupboard was completely bare. You thought those quiet sacrifices went unnoticed by heaven, but I kept a perfect record of every single seed. You carry deep scars from the quiet betrayals of your past. The people you trusted with your deepest secrets used your vulnerability as a weapon against your peace. They walked away from you when you needed them the most. They left you stranded in the cold after you built bridges for their success. That painful betrayal created a cold wall of ice around your delicate heart. You built that wall and you called it wisdom. You told yourself that you would never let anyone close enough to hurt you again. But that wall of self-protection became a prison that kept out my blessings as well. You isolated yourself in the dark because you thought safety meant staying completely alone. I am commanding that cold wall of ice to melt under my fiery presence right now. Stop calling your emotional numbness peace. True peace does not feel like a cold void inside your chest. Stop convincing yourself that silent endurance is maturity. I do not want you to carry a bruised and bleeding heart through this world like an inevitable fate. You do not have to perform for me tonight. You do not have to look successful or strong when you stand before my holy altar. Bring me your raw and messy pieces right now. Bring me the shattered expectations that have been sitting in the dark corners of your mind. I am not repelled by your weakness. I am drawn to your broken spirit like a loving father to a hurting child. The world demanded perfection from you every single day, but I only require your surrendered heart. Let down your guard and breathe in my presence. The season of hiding behind your forced smile is over. The enemy wanted you to die in silence while pretending that you were okay. He wanted you to suffocate under the weight of your unspoken pain. But I am stripping away that heavy mask tonight. I am taking off the bruised armor that has been digging into your skin for years. You are safe in my arms. Take a deep breath and let the tension leave your shoulders. The battle you have been fighting in the dark was not in vain. Every silent tear you shed was a seed being planted in the spiritual soil. And tonight, those seeds are rising up as a mighty harvest of restoration over your household. Stay right here in my presence, because the divine transformation of your soul has just begun. You must understand something deeper than what your natural eyes can see on this earth. You look at your past 90 days. You see only abandoned dreams and closed doors. And you believe that my silence meant that I had turned my back on your family. But I am here to correct that painful lie inside your spirit today. Rejection in the physical world was protection in heaven. I turned the key in those locks with my own hands. I slammed those doors shut in your face. I saw who was standing behind them. You wanted those opportunities so badly that you were willing to compromise your peace, but those very people were secretly plotting your downfall in the dark. If I had opened those doors, they would have destroyed your soul. I saw the hidden blades concealed behind their fake smiles. I heard the envious whispers when you left the room. They wanted your light. They hated your destiny. They were waiting to leech off your royal blessing the moment it touched your hands. So I locked the treasury of heaven to shield your spirit. I froze your resources to protect your holy inheritance. Stop looking at the closed doors with resentment and bitterness. Those locks were turned by my protective grace. You cried over the friends who walked away from you. You felt discarded when they stopped calling your phone during this dry season, but I was simply removing the parasites before I released the floodgates of overflow. I cleaned your circle so your harvest would not be stolen. You thought you were being punished in the dark wilderness. You thought your life was collapsing into ruin. Your life was not collapsing at all. It was undergoing a hidden divine construction under my personal supervision. Because a master builder must dig deep into the earth before he erects a giant tower. The deeper the foundation goes, the more empty the ground looks. You felt like you were sinking deeper into the dirt. Everyone else seemed to rise above you. You watched dishonest people prosper every single day. You wondered why your upright heart was rewarded with delay and frustration. But I was digging a foundation in your soul because your blessing is far too heavy for a shallow vessel. A small blessing can rest on sand. A generational inheritance requires solid rock. 90 days ago, your vessel was still leaking. If I had given you the miracle back then, the weight of that sudden wealth would have crushed your character and destroyed your household. I destroyed old structures to build an unshakable foundation in you. Take a moment to breathe deeply right now. Let your mind refocus. Pull your spirit back into this sacred sanctuary. If your thoughts are drifting back to your unpaid bills, listen to the authority in my voice, because the delay you endured was not my denial. Heaven was expanding your capacity while you wept in silence. You were being prepared to carry an immense weight of glory. Do not resent the quiet seasons of isolation. I pulled you away from the noisy crowds. I needed your full attention to rewrite your software. In the world, you learned to operate from fear and survival, but in my presence, you learned to govern from royal authority. I stripped away your self-reliance so you would depend on my grace. You are not standing at the back of the queue. You are not an afterthought in my kingdom. You are standing at the absolute front of the line. Your vessel has finally been refined by the fire, and because you came out of the furnace looking like pure gold, you are ready to manage kingdom resources without losing your soul. The wilderness did not consume your faith. Look at the hands of those who tried to betray you. They are empty today. They thought they were holding you back. They were actually pushing you straight into my arms. Every trap they laid became a stepping stone for your elevation. And what the enemy intended for your destruction, I turned around to position you at the head of the table. Look past the temporary emptiness of your hands today. The boundary between lack and destiny is collapsing. Closed doors were holy security protocols. Every delay was a strategic pause arranged by my divine hand, and right now the lock is turning while no power on earth can stop what I have decreed over your house. The season of stagnation is officially dead. You are my chosen vanguard. You were assigned to stand in the first line. You were proven faithful through the heavy storm. Do not waste another second grieving over who left your side. because what I am about to place in your hands will make you forget every single year of hardship you ever suffered. You will witness the restoration of everything that was stolen. Stay still in my presence right now. Let the peace of heaven fill your mind. You do not have to fight with human strength. The court of heaven has ruled in your favor, and the angels of provision are dispatched to your doorstep as we speak. Prepare your heart to step through the open gateway. Your miracle is arriving in this very hour. Look at the ancient records of my kingdom. You will see that no one stood in the first line without first passing through the intense heat of refinement. You are crying because you spent months in a metaphorical prison. You felt stripped of your dignity. You watched your coat of many colors get torn apart by hands you loved. But remember my faithful servant Joseph. He was thrown into a dark pit by his own flesh and blood. He was sold as a slave for silver pieces. He spent years in a foul Egyptian dungeon for a crime he never committed. In that dark place, the iron entered his soul. And every night when the guards turned off the torches, he wondered why the beautiful coat his father gave him ended up covered in blood. He wondered if my promises were nothing but meaningless dreams. But Joseph did not know that the dungeon was actually the administrative office of his royal future. I was teaching him how to manage scarcity before I handed him the keys to the Egyptian storehouses. The pit was not his destruction. It was his university of divine management. If Joseph had stepped onto the throne of Egypt without the dungeon experience, his pride would have destroyed him. The weight of nation building would have crushed his character. I had to refine his spirit until all self-reliance was completely burned away. And when the appointed time arrived, I pulled him from the prison to the palace in a single hour. He did not have to campaign for the position. He did not have to beg Pharaoh for a job. The king called for him because heaven declared that his vessel was ready. My beloved child, your recent furnace of testing was your dungeon experience. You were betrayed by people who ate at your table. You were falsely accused by those you tried to help. You sat in your own dark pit and asked me why the pain was so severe. I allowed the iron to enter your soul, so you would become unbreakable under pressure. Look at my servant Abraham as well. I led him into a dry wilderness and made him wait for 25 long years for a single son. He walked across scorching sands while his body grew old and weak. Every year that passed seemed to make my promise more impossible. The world laughed at his hope. The enemy mocked his quiet trust every morning. But Abraham kept his eyes fixed on the stars in the night sky. And as he stared into the vast darkness, he learned to praise me when his physical eyes saw only barren ground. I was stripping away his human timing so he could become the father of nations. The wilderness was not a place of abandonment. It was a sacred altar where his natural reliance died so his spiritual authority could be born. You have been walking through your own wilderness for 90 days. You felt like your youth was slipping away while your hands remained empty. You felt the heavy sting of mockery from people who moved faster than you. You watched others build houses and gather wealth while you struggled to pay for basic food. The enemy is whispering that you are tired right now. Resist that fatigue with every fiber of your soul. Your breakthrough is only meters away from your current step. Stand firm where you are. I am doing something profound inside your spirit. Standing in the first line to receive a kingdom miracle requires a capacity that has been tested in deep waters. A fragile vessel shatters when a heavy harvest falls into it. A vessel refined by fire holds the weight of glory without cracking under pressure. Type, "I am first in line" in the comments right now. When your fingers release those words, you are not engaging with a secular platform. You are signing a legal covenant in the heavenly courts. You are declaring that your vessel is ready for the promised harvest. Let the spiritual realm record your bold confession tonight. You survived the pit like Joseph. You stood faithful in the wilderness like Abraham. The fire did not burn you, it purified your gold. The water did not drown you, it washed away your worldly pride. Your trial was not a random tragedy, it was a precise divine alignment designed to prepare your hands for royal wealth. Now the refining process is complete in your heart. The gold is pure, the vessel is clean, the oil of my presence is ready to pour over your head until your cup runs over. Do not look back at the pit with sadness or regret. The dungeon served its purpose, and the king is calling your name right now. Step forward and receive your reward. Look into the spiritual realm with me right now. Do not let the noise of tomorrow distract your mind. Look back at the generations that came before you in your family tree. You will see a repetitive cycle of relentless struggle and silent tears. Your grandfathers worked until their hands bled in the fields, and your parents carried a heavy yoke of debt that followed them all the way to their grave. Every time someone in your lineage tried to rise, an invisible ceiling pushed them back down into lack. They faced mysterious financial delays that ruined their honest efforts. They cried in secret just like you did last week, and they died with their gifts still buried deep inside them, because the heavy atmosphere of poverty suffocated their potential. But their suppressed cries reached the ears of heaven. You were not born into that family by accident. You were not placed in that bloodline to suffer the same tragic fate. Out of all your brothers, sisters, and relatives, I selected you to be the ultimate chain breaker. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I placed an extraordinary, unbreakable strength inside your spiritual DNA, and you carry royal blood in your veins. You were chosen to stand at the front line and scream no more to the spirit of poverty. The heavy chain of debt that dragged your family down for 3 generations stops dead in its tracks tonight. Satan thought he could keep your entire household in perpetual slavery. He thought your children would inherit the same anxiety about unpaid bills, but he made a catastrophic mistake when he attacked you. When you were weeping on the bathroom floor, you thought you were breaking down under pressure. You were actually breaking the ancient curse off your bloodline. Every single tear you shed acted as a spiritual weapon that dissolved the contracts of lack. Your quiet endurance tore down the altar of generational failure. The enemy thought he was destroying you, but he was actually unleashing your royal authority into the world. I am taking off the heavy coat of poverty that your ancestors wore for decades. I am burning that dirty garment in the unquenchable fire of my presence right now. In its place, I am placing the mantle of kingdom stewardship over your shoulders. You will no longer beg for scraps at secular tables, because you are called to build massive storehouses that will feed nations. Feel the warmth of my holy oil running down your forehead to your feet. The court of heaven has recorded your royal appointment tonight. The dark decrees that bound your ancestors have been legally revoked and canceled by my Supreme Court, while you are completely freed from the burdens of the past. You are standing on holy ground in this exact second. Your children will never know the bitter taste of generational debt. They will not lie awake at night wondering how to pay for their basic needs. The seed you plant tonight will grow into a massive tree of blessing that shelters your descendants for 100 years. You are shifting the financial trajectory of your bloodline from total lack to endless overflow. This is why you were placed at the very front of the line tonight. You were not positioned there just to receive a small personal miracle for your immediate bills. You are receiving a massive inheritance that will liberate your entire household from shame, because you are the gateway through which my wealth will pour into your family realm. Stand tall and square your shoulders like the royal warrior I made you to be. Stop walking through life with your head hung down in embarrassment. When the enemy whispers that you are worthless, remind him of the holy blood that flows through your spirit. You walk with the full backing of heaven behind every single step you take on this earth. I decree total restoration over your family tree tonight. The land that was stolen from your parents will be returned to your hands with interest. The business ideas that died in your mind will resurface with divine momentum. Every financial wound your lineage suffered will be healed by the overflowing rivers of my grace. The long season of ancestral sorrow is dead. You are my chosen vanguard in this hour. The legacy of poverty ends with you, and the legacy of kingdom wealth begins with your obedience tonight. Walk forward with absolute confidence, for the King of Kings has signed your victory with his own hand. Your family will call you blessed for generations to come. Grip your hands together right now. Wake up your spirit, for the battle decree is being spoken into the atmosphere. Satan knows that your appointed hour has arrived. He sees the golden harvest hovering directly over your household tonight. He knows that if you step through this gateway, his kingdom loses all control over your lineage forever. That is why he is deploying his most dangerous weapon against your mind in this exact minute. He is releasing a toxic fog of spiritual fatigue over your living room. He wants you to feel suddenly drowsy. He wants your mind to wander back to your daily worries. He whispers that this message is too long or that your miracle is impossible. That whisper is the spirit of delay, attempting to rob your soul at the finish line. I command that spirit of delay to be bound in iron chains right now. Listen to the roar of the Lion of Judah shaking the foundations of hell today. Every demon assigned to monitor your bank account is fleeing in total terror. Every legal document forged by dark altars to keep you in poverty is catching fire in my presence. I break the spirit of stagnation off your hands completely. I shatter the iron gates that blocked your money from arriving on time, and you are stepping into immediate momentum. Open your mouth right now and release a loud shout of victory into your room. Say out loud that poverty has no legal right to touch your life anymore. Say out loud that sickness must bow its knees to my holy authority. When you speak those words with faith, you are drawing a line of fire around your entire family. Sickness, lack, and silent despair must pack their bags and flee from your territory instantly. Look at the giant wall of resistance that stood before you for 90 days. It is crumbling into dust before your very eyes. What took human effort 20 years to achieve will be accomplished in 24 hours by my Spirit. I am redirecting divine resources from the four corners of the earth directly to your doorstep. You will receive unexpected phone calls with offers of total restoration before this week ends. Stolen inheritances are being unlocked in the heavenly courts right now. Unpaid debts owed to your family are being settled in full under my divine pressure. The spirit of premature loss is completely destroyed over your children. The enemy tried to swallow your legacy, but my holy fire is forcing him to vomit out everything he stole from your bloodline. Every lost year is restored with compound interest tonight. Stand firm in your royal authority and do not back down one single inch. The battle in the spiritual realm is already won, and the victory is completely sealed by my covenant. Satan has lost his legal right to harass your thoughts or torment your dreams at night. The heavy atmosphere of defeat that hung over your house for months has cleared away, while a clean sky of favor opens over your head. You are no longer fighting for victory from a place of defeat. You are fighting from a position of absolute triumph at my right hand. The weapon forged against your finances has failed miserably, and every tongue that accused you in secret is condemned under my supreme judgment. Walk boldly into the light of your breakthrough, because the gates of brass are broken and the bars of iron are cut in two. Feel the sudden surge of spiritual energy filling your lungs right now. The heavy weariness that weighed down your shoulders is replaced by my holy strength. You are appointed as the first line receiver, and no force in hell can alter that divine alignment. The lion has roared over your family, and the whole world will soon witness the glory of your total restoration. The enemy wanted to keep you quiet and broken in the dark, but I am putting a new song of deliverance in your mouth tonight. You will testify of my power before kings and leaders. You will look back at this dark trial and realize it was only the birth canal of your royal authority. The battle is finished, the victory is sealed, and your miracle is breaking into your reality this very second. Do not let the enemy steal your peace after you close this video tonight. The spirit of fear will try to return with small doubts when you wake up tomorrow morning. When those dark thoughts attack your mind, declare my words out loud with fierce authority. Tell the mountain that it must move, and tell the storm that it must be still. You hold the master key to your breakthrough. Every chain that bound your hands is falling onto the floor like dry dust. You are stepping out of the dark cage of anxiety and into the wide spaces of my abundance. The royal decree has gone forth from the throne room, and no demon or human enemy can reverse what I have commanded. Stand tall, my child, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon your life. Look at your hands right now. They are no longer empty, because my anointed authority is filling them with divine capacity. You will build businesses that thrive in times of economic famine. You will lend to many nations, and you will never need to borrow again. The decree of financial liberation is registered in heaven, and earth must obey its command today. Walk into your home with the quiet confidence of a conqueror tonight. The dark shadow that hovered over your family altar for generations has dissolved in my light. Peace is your permanent wall, prosperity is your daily bread, and my glory is your rear guard. Stand firm, my warrior, for your miracle has officially arrived at your doorstep. Heavenly Father, I step into your quiet sanctuary right now. I lay down my heavy burden at your sacred altar. I am tired of fighting with my own fragile strength. I stop trying to manage every single detail of my life, and I place my weary soul entirely into your loving hands tonight. I surrender my ego. I surrender my pride. I abandon my desperate need to fix everything myself. Lord, I confess my deep weariness to you. My body is exhausted. My mind is worn out. The weight of carrying my family's survival has crushed my spirit for too long. I tried to build my own security with human wisdom, but my best efforts only left me broken and empty in the dark. Forgive me for relying on my own intellect. I let go of the steering wheel. I allow your Holy Spirit to take complete control of my journey today. I release every ounce of hidden bitterness from my heart right now. I forgive those who betrayed my trust. I forgive those who walked away in the dark. The pain was deep and the wounds bled in secret for 90 long days. Tonight I choose to release every offender from the prison of my resentment, and I ask your warm river of mercy to heal every shattered piece of my spirit, wash away the poison of bitterness, cleanse my spirit completely. I lay down the painful memory of standing at the back of the line. I release the feelings of being forgotten while others stepped into their harvest. Forgive me for doubting your goodness when the silence was deafening. I understand now that your silence was my secret protection, and I thank you for keeping me safe inside the furnace of refinement. You were preparing my hands for royal wealth. You were building an unshakable vessel. Wash my mind with your living water right now. Cleanse away the dark memories of silent tears. Remove the midnight panic attacks from my thoughts. The suffocating cloud of anxiety sat on my chest for so many months, but your presence is blowing away every trace of darkness from my living temple. I trade my fear for your perfect peace. I trade my sorrow for your holy joy. You are making all things brand new. Father, I place my finances on your altar right now. You know every unpaid bill that kept me awake. You saw me stare at my phone screen in cold sweat. I refuse to carry the spirit of fear about tomorrow, because I know that you are my divine provider and my eternal source of unlimited abundance. You are my Jehovah Jireh. You hold my future. The heavy weight of survival is off my shoulders. I surrender my family lineage into your protective hands tonight. I break every unspoken contract with poverty and debt. I break the ancient spirit of ancestral failure. I refuse to let my children inherit the bitter spirit of lack, and I declare that my entire household belongs to your unshakable kingdom from this day forward. I stand before your throne, clean. My vessel is ready for glory. Let your holy fire burn away every last remnant of my fleshy control. Melt down the cold walls of self-protection. I built those icy fortresses around my heart when I was wounded by human hands. I do not need a fortress of ice to survive in this world, because your wings of grace are my permanent shield and my eternal hiding place. I am safe in your arms. I am loved by the King. My future is secure. I receive your fresh oil over my head in this sacred hour. You are giving me beauty for ashes. You are giving me the oil of joy for mourning. You are placing the garment of praise over my tired spirit, while every spirit of depression flees from my presence right now. I step into my true identity. I am a royal child of the Most High. I am crowned with loving kindness. Feel the warm river of healing water flowing through your temple right now. The tight knot in your shoulders is dissolving completely. The heavy pressure behind your eyes is turning into clean air. Every cell in your physical body is aligning with divine health, because the sovereign power of heaven is sweeping away every trace of disease and weariness. You are no longer a victim. Your pain is gone. You are made whole. Breathe in my holy presence deeply right now. Let your soul soak in this sacred silence. The chaotic storm outside your house has lost its power over your mind, and no circumstance on earth can take away the quiet peace I have placed in your chest. Sleep in total rest, my child. Your Father is standing guard. Your home is secure. Thank you, Father, for hearing my quiet prayer tonight. Thank you for lifting the heavy mantle of shame off my shoulders. I step away from this altar, completely transformed and completely healed. I am the first line to receive your miracle, and I will walk in your light for all the days of my life on this earth. My trial is over. My harvest is here. Amen. My child, the heavy atmosphere over your house has completely shifted tonight. You cannot leave this holy altar unguarded. The enemy is waiting outside your door to steal the peace you just received. He wants you to step back into the chaotic noise of the world and forget the royal decree spoken over your life. But you must guard your border with holy vigilance. You have received a sacred seed of total restoration today. This blessing is legally registered in the court of heaven, and it requires a physical sign of obedience to seal it in your daily life. Do not let the digital world distract your attention from this moment. You are standing inside a set-apart sanctuary right now. Take a deep breath and prepare your heart to draw a line of fire around your household. I command you to secure your border before you step back into your daily routine. Press the subscribe button right now as a physical mark that your home belongs to the light. Turn on the notification bell so your living temple remains connected to my word every single day. When you perform this simple act, you are not engaging with a human algorithm, because you are planting a permanent mark of protection over your family lineage. Leave the numbers 777 in the comments below right now. When those specific digits leave your fingers, you are signing a covenant in the spiritual realm that no demon can alter. You are declaring out loud that your season of lack is deed. You are confirming that you are the first line to receive my miracle. Let your written testimony stand as an unshakable seal before the heavenly hosts tonight. Do not hesitate or delay this act of obedience. The spirit of delay wants you to scroll away without sealing your covenant. He wants your mind to wander back to your daily fears before the oil dries on your forehead. But I am calling you to take action right now. Stand firm in your royal identity and mark your territory with holy confidence. Your lineage is officially protected under my sovereign wings. Every financial trap set by the enemy is dismantled. The spirit of debt and failure has no legal authority over your children anymore. As you leave your confirmation below, feel the heavy mantle of anxiety fall off your shoulders completely. You are stepping out of the dark shadow of survival and walking directly into my divine overflow. Remember the words I have spoken to your heart during this sacred encounter. You are no longer the exhausted victim weeping in secret. You are my chosen vanguard, standing at the very front of the line to receive generational riches. Keep your eyes fixed on my promises when tomorrow brings its temporary noise. Walk through your home with the quiet dignity of a crowned heir. Share this lifeline with one weary soul who is fighting a silent battle in the dark tonight. Be the instrument of deliverance my hands use to rescue another hurting heart. When you extend my light to others, your own harvest expands beyond human measure. Become a river of blessing that flows into the dry places of this world. My peace remains inside your chest as you go about your daily responsibilities. The doors that locked shut in your past will remain locked to keep out betrayal. The new gateways of opportunity I open for you will stay wide open before your feet. No power on earth can reverse the decree of restoration I have written over your name. You are held in my everlasting arms. Rest your body in total tranquility tonight. Sleep with the deep certainty that your Father is managing every detail of your future. The angels of provision are operating on your behalf while you sleep peacefully. Your morning will bring fresh evidence of my grace, and your heart will sing a new song of victory. Go forth in my strength, my beloved child, for your miracle is fully secured. I bless your hands to gather kingdom wealth. I bless your feet to walk on high places. I bless your mind with divine wisdom that turns scarcity into overflowing abundance. May my presence be the permanent atmosphere over your household forever. Stand strong, keep your covenant sealed, and remember that you are always the first line in my heart. Amen. The light of my glory shines upon your countenance today. Every darkness that tried to overtake your soul has vanished like smoke in the wind. You have stepped through the portal of transformation, and your old life of sorrow is left behind forever. Go in my absolute peace, and let your faith remain unbroken through every season. You are my living testimony in a world that is blinded by darkness. When people look at your life in the coming months, they will see the visible proof of my sovereign favor. They will ask how you recovered from such deep loss so quickly, and you will tell them of the holy night when you stood first in line to receive my miracle. Your story will bring hundreds of lost souls back to my sanctuary. Never forget the quiet wilderness where your faith was forged. The furnace refined your gold so you could handle the weight of this royal inheritance without stumbling. Walk forward with clean hands and a humble heart. Your Father has spoken. The court of heaven has sealed the judgment, and your days of quiet weeping are over forever.